Hello everyone, this is part 1 of What If Naruto Abandons Konoha and Becomes the Dragon Sage, and this story is made by Red Rover 117, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Land of Fire, Forest. This was his last hope. His last chance to become a shinobi of Konoha no Sato. He needed to do this, to learn a jutsu from this damned scroll he had been assigned to take by his academy teacher, Mizuki. He had failed the genin graduation exam 3 times, each time because of one jutsu that he just couldn't get right no matter what he tried. His name was Uzumaki Naruto and he was the Jinchuriki of the most powerful of the Biju, the Kyubi no Yoko. Okay, let's see. The first jutsu is Taju Kage Bunshin on Jutsu and then, a summoning contract. Hand seals are, it's asking for my signature in blood, okay? Naruto though with a shrug and bit his thumb. He quickly signed the contract inside and smiled, got it, now for the Taju Kage Bunshin on Jutsu. 3 hours later Iruka jumped down into the clearing as Naruto sat panting on the ground, clearly out of breath. About time nosebleed, I found you, Naruto spoke with a grin. No you fool, I found you. Iruka shouted anger. Hey, I guess you have got me, too bad you were so fast. I've only memorized 2 jutsu, Naruto said as he scratched the back of his neck. You look exhausted, what the hell have you been doing? Iruka asked confused at seeing his state. Wait until I show you, I never dreamed, some of the jutsu in this thing are amazing, Naruto said cheerfully. If I show you I've mastered these jutsu then you'll let me pass, right? Who told you that? Iruka asked confused. Mizuki-sensei said if I learn a jutsu from the scroll then you'll let me graduate, Naruto replied with a smile. Mizuki. Iruka's eyes widened in surprise and he turned quickly. He pushed the blonde out of the way before being bombarded by a volley of shuriken. I'm impressed that you figured out where to go, Mizuki commented as he dropped down in complete combat gear. Now I understand, Iruka grunted out as he held his now bleeding side. The scroll, Naruto give it to me, Mizuki demanded. What is this? Naruto asked in surprise and a little fear. Don't let him have it, Naruto. Protect that scroll with your life. Iruka shouted to him as he kept his eyes set on the traitorous Chunin. It's more dangerous than you can imagine, it holds the record of all ninjutsu and kinjutsu known by Konoha. Mizuki used you because he wants it for himself. Naruto, even if you've read it, it will still be meaningless. I can show you what it means, Mizuki offered with a smirk. Shush, shut up, Iruka shouted with rising fear. There is no way Mizuki would. Naruto, do you know what really happened 12 years ago when the Kyubi no Yoko was defeated, don't you? Mizuki asked with a widening smirk. Mizuki, stop. Don't. Iruka shouted, now thoroughly afraid of what was coming. Since the incident the people of our village have been bound by the highest decree, Mizuki continued unaffected. What are you talking about? Naruto asked as he felt his throat going dry. You wouldn't remember because the decree was that everyone would know except you. Mizuki was now openly grinning from ear to ear. Why not me? Naruto stammered out. Because you are the Kyuubi no Yoko. Mizuki shouted with glee. Naruto stood still not knowing what to do. What? You are the Kyubi, the monster which assaulted and rampaged through Konoha 12 years ago until finally you were defeated and bound to your current form by our beloved Yondaime Hokage. Mizuki continued. Stop it, Iruka shouted to the traitor. Since then, you've been made a fool of by everyone in the village. Didn't you ever think it was strange? To be despised everywhere you went. You killed Iruka's parents too. If he were honest, even noble Iruka would admit he hates you too. Mizuki yelled as he spun his Funna shuriken in hand. No one will ever accept you. That scroll you now carry was the key to your ceiling. Demon. He threw it towards the blonde. Iruka jumped in the way and the shuriken pierced his back. Foolish Iruka. Why? Naruto asked as he looked up at his former teacher's face. Forgive me, Iruka said tearfully. If I'd been a better teacher, a better person, then maybe it wouldn't have come to this. Naruto dashed away into the trees a moment later. Naruto, he called after the boy. It's over, Iruka, goodbye old friend, Mizuki said as he slashed down with a kunai. And blood started to pour onto the unforgiving ground. Got to get away, must get away, Naruto thought as he cast a glance behind him. Naruto! Came the shout and he saw Iruka jumping beside him. Give me the scroll. It's what Mizuki is after. Protect that scroll with your life. You are the Kyuubi no Yoko. Naruto turned quickly and slammed his full weight into Iruka, forcing them both to drop to the ground. You. Iruka rasped out as he tried to get to his feet. What's wrong, Naruto? He asked before his illusion dropped, signifying it was Mizuki instead. How did you know I wasn't Iruka? He demanded. I didn't, Naruto chuckled and leaned against a tree. But Iruka-sensei told me to guard this scroll, and that is exactly what I intend to do. So noble. Why? Don't you want the power? You and I are the same, Naruto. We both want something. Give me the scroll and I will give you whatever you desire, Mizuki said as he held out his hand. Quote. Not a chance, Naruto shot back. I'm nothing like you, Mizuki team. The traitor looked at him in disgust, then say goodbye, Demon Fox. He shot forwards with Fuma shuriken spinning in hand, die. Naruto's eyes widened before formed several hand seals instinctively. Kuchio's no jutsu. A moment later a large puff of smoke signified the appearance of a summoning. What? Mizuki thought in surprise and he stopped a few feet away. Holy, that's a large dragon several meters long appeared from the smoke and turned its gaze on him. There is no way that demon could summon a dragon. The traitor thought in slight fear. This boy, it's been a while since I was last summoned. I shall test his worthiness later, but for now I am hungry and I certainly smell a desirable meal. Prepare to die, mortal, the dragon's menacing voice spoke before his head shot forward. No, Mizuki thought before he was devoured by the large beast in front of him. The dragon turned towards the blonde boy and noticed he was now unconscious. Probably exhausted himself. I must take him away from here and back to the mountains. Perhaps that human village nearby will prepare him for the trials ahead, it thought as it picked the boy up and took off into the night sky with the scroll. In his office, the Sandaime Hokage, Sarutobi Hiruzen watched sadly as the boy he had come to view as a grandson was taken away by a dragon. Part of him wanted to send a team after them, but was clear that they were now too far gone to be retrieved, and he knew that Naruto wouldn't be returning to Konoha as one of its citizens. Not when he would experience the outside world away from Konoha. There was the fact that he now knew he was the Kyuubi Jinchuriki, and with the way he was told, it wouldn't be pretty if he were to turn his angered gaze on Konoha. Without knowledge of the dragon's destination, Konoha couldn't send anyone to look for the boy nor the scroll, which held one of the only things that could open the seal on his stomach. The scroll contained a key to Naruto's seal. Naruto. Hiruzen thought worriedly. Land of Lightning, Kumogakure no Sato, Reikage Tower. Here is today's paperwork, Reikage-sama, spoke an attractive female jonin as she carried a large stack of papers into the office. Reikage-sama, she asked hesitantly. ZZ, and so the most powerful shinobi in Kumo, the Reikage? Killer E snored as he slept at his desk with the morning sun glaring through the window. Reikage-sama, you need to do today's paperwork, she shouted in his ear. Who? What? Where? Why? He asked frantically as he awakened. Today's paperwork, Reikage-sama, the aide said with a smile. It was always interesting working for this man. He was childish at times and seemed to be level-headed at others. He was a hard case sometimes, but only when it concerned his younger brother and or the previous Reikage's granddaughter. After the Sandaime Reikage passed away with young Yugito's parents, he had basically become the girl's adoptive father, and he loved her as the daughter he never had. Speaking of which, he still needed to sort out her team for when she graduated later today. At this rate her team would be missing 2 members. He already had a sensei picked out, his own brother, since he was the Hachibi Jinchuriki. If worse came to worse, then he would have Kiribi take her as his apprentice. Reikage-sama, his aide asked hesitantly. What is it? He said as he turned serious at her sudden withdrawn look. He turned to where she was pointing and his eyes widened slightly. That's a dragon. What the fuck is a dragon doing outside my window? Indeed it was. The massive creature came to a stop just outside of the window and set a small blonde child down on the balcony with a scroll attached to his back. It took one look at the Reikage and then disappeared in a puff of smoke, signifying it was a summoned creature. What just happened, Reikage-sama? The aide asked, unsure. He looked over the boy and the scroll on his back. That scroll is definitely the forbidden scroll of sealing created by the Shodai Hokage. But that would mean he's from Konoha, so why did that dragon bring him here? Dragons rarely leave Cloud Peak, and even then it's only for food. What is so special about you? Reikage-sama. Suddenly 3 Kumo nins appeared within the room. It is all right, he reassured them and then turned to them. Sumui, Karui, Omoi, take this boy to the hospital immediately and contacted me the moment he wakes up. Also check if there is anything strange about him. Yes, Reikage-sama, Sumui acknowledged even if she didn't understand the reasoning behind the orders. It was going to be a long day. Land of Lightning, Kumogakure no Sato, Hospital. Naruto groaned as he awoke to the sight of the sun setting out the closed window and its rays covered the sky in a red hue. He sat up with another groan and looked around, immediately recognizing that he was in a hospital, though it didn't appear to be Konoha's hospital. It was mostly yellow instead of the usual white and was littered with monitoring equipment. Where the hell am I? Naruto asked in thought as he shakily got out of the bed. He looked down to see he was wearing a hospital gown. How did I get here? He walked over to the window and looked out. Whoa. From where he looked he could see a massive city-like village stretched out over several mountains clustered together. I'm not in Konoha anymore. Suddenly the door opened and a young woman stepped inside dressed in a familiar yet completely alien nurse's outfit. She stopped, looked at him and then blinked before rushing back out of the room. This can't be good. I need to get out of here, Naruto thought and formed a hand seal. Henge. Immediately he was wearing cloths again even though he knew they were an illusion. He formed another hand seal and summoned as much chakra as he could muster. Taju Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. Instantly 20 appeared inside the room and started storming out to provide his distraction. I have to get out of here now. He jumped out of the window with his clones and fell. What the hell? Naruto exclaimed as he fell through the large gap between the village's platforms that kept them all atop the mountains. I don't have the chakra left to make a ladder out of clones. I'm gonna die. And then suddenly everything went dark. Naruto's mindscape, Jinchuriki seal. Drip, drip, drip. What the hell happened? Naruto shook his head as he looked around his new surroundings. It looked like a sewer. This feeling, Naruto slowly started walking and made his way through the corridor and entered a large chamber with walk looked like a large medical gate on the other side of the room. Come here, boy. A pair of crimson-slitted eyes snapped open as the blonde grew closer. Suddenly the beast sent out 4 large claws in hopes of ripping him apart through the bars. You annoying little human. Rip this seal off now or I shall feast on your bones. The voice growled out in frustration. Why you can't be? The Kyuubi no Yoko, Naruto stammered as he took a step back. Do not waste my time. Do as I command. The giant fox roared in fury. Everyone sees you, as me, a demon. Give up. I will save you from your pain, your loneliness and your hatred. Suddenly Naruto's jumpsuit opened and the seal on his stomach became visible. Yes, you're doing fine. The seal distorted a moment later and a black liquid started to pour out and onto the floor. Now, come here and rip this seal off. The fox ordered and Naruto staggered towards the seal on the cage. Land of Lightning, Kumogakure no Sato, Rainbow Mountain. Reikage-sama. Omoi shouted as he and the forces arrived on the scene. I see it, he confirmed as he looked down at the massive demon fox with 8 tails that clung to the mountainside below. So that is what's made the boy special enough to receive the attention of the dragons, he thought with slight worry. Brother, why do you never come and see me? The Rockin' Killer Bee asked his brother in a bad rap. Do you not see the giant demon fox in front of us? He asked his brother as he gestured towards the monstrous creature. So that's the Kyuubi, to transform like that he must have an interesting Jinchuriki, Kiribi commented in rap. Go Hachibi and hold him down while I seal him up, the Reikage ordered and the two jumped down. Wait, a gruff voice stopped them and they turned swiftly. What they found was a dragon, we will take care of him. I didn't even sense them, he realized before fixed dragons flew out from seemingly nowhere and descended towards the monstrous fox. Stay out of the way while we deal with this. It will be over soon, said the lead dragon before they flew down towards the tailed beast below. Miyaka-kun, you know what to do. Another nodded and flew directly above the 8-tailed demon fox. Fuinjutsu, Reimu Fuin. Miyaka roared as she struck down a large spear of white lightning through the fox's midsection. The lightning then lanced out and pinned the beast's tails to the ground, causing it to roar in anger. It is done. Now we shall see if he remains a fox or ascends into a knight, spoke the dragon leader. Yes, Hotori-sama, Miyaka bowed her head towards the lead dragon. Naruto's mindscape, Jinchuriki seal. Almost there, the Kyuubi said with glee as Naruto reached out to grab the seal paper on its cage. Only for someone to grab his wrist. Huh? Naruto asked as he snapped back to his senses. He turned to the one who had stopped him and his eyes widened at the sight that greeted him. You're. He began before the figure picked him up and carried him away from the cage. You. The Kyuubi roared in anger at the intruder. What are you doing here? Why Yondaime Hokage-sama? Naruto stuttered out in surprise. I infused some of my chakra into the seal to act as a failsafe just in case the Kyuubi tried to break free and release 8 of its tails. I honestly hoped I never had to see your ugly face again, Kyuubi. But I wanted to see how far my son had grown, so I guess it all evens out in the end. Oh well, spoke Namikaze Minato. Yondaime Hokage, come here. I'll rip you to shreds. The Kyuubi roared again. Not the best invitation, so, no thanks, Minato said back with a frown. Right, Naruto? He asked the younger blonde. Naruto, my name. Naruto said confused. How did you know? How? I'm the one who named you, Minato responded amused. You're my son, after all. Your son. I'm. Naruto paused, unable to comprehend what was going on. You heard me, you're my son, Naruto, Minato confirmed as tears started to fall from Naruto's eyes. Dad? The boy asked hesitantly. Yondaime. The Kyuubi roared in anger at being ignored. That thing is too annoying at times. Let's go somewhere quiet, Minato said before he clicked his fingers and the two were transported into a large white void. Naruto wiped away the tears in his eyes as Minato looked on sadly. Sandaime-sama didn't tell you much of anything, did he? I guess he wanted to suppress as much information about the Kyuubi as possible. If people knew you were my son, then you'd have been in danger. A lot of good that did me, Naruto rasped out. Quote. I'm sorry, Naruto. But it was the only way I could think of. Minato apologized only to receive a punch from the younger blonde. Why would you ever put the Kyuubi inside your own son? How could you put me through that? I don't know if I'm happy or if I'm mad right now. You're completely insane. Naruto cried out in anger and sadness. Minato sighed after it was clear his son had calmed down. I know. Naruto. How old are you? 12, Naruto answered as he wiped his eyes again. 12 already, huh? Damn. I don't know what to say, Minato admitted with a saddened sigh. Just give me a second, Naruto said and took a deep breath. Alright, I'm the Yondaime Hokage's kid. I can deal with that, he chuckled in what seemed like relief. Minato just smiled before he spoke again. There is something you should know. There was another reason why I sealed half of Kyuubi's chakra in you. It wasn't just because I thought you could control its power. It was because there was someone manipulating the Kyuubi 12 years ago when it attacked Konoha. Manipulated? Are you saying the Kyuubi was being controlled when it attacked Konoha? Naruto asked in surprise. Minato nodded grimly. I fought him and I didn't even scratch him. It was like I was fighting a ghost. He's an extremely dangerous shinobi. Who is he? Naruto asked. I don't know. I didn't even see his face. He was wearing a mask, Minato answered. I believe he will attack Konoha again and I believe he will come after you to get the Kyuubi back. You can't let him get it. Dad. Konoha. Naruto began but Minato held up his hand to stop him. I already know. I must admit I don't blame you for leaving, Minato interrupted. But I didn't, Naruto started again. To them the moment you were taken by the dragons you were considered to no longer be a Konoha citizen and after what I saw from the seal. I wouldn't blame you for staying away from them, Minato finished. Quote. Do you think I should stay here? Naruto asked hesitantly. That is up you, Naruto. It's your decision and no one else's. I'm proud of you no matter what choice you make, Minato said with a smile. Dad, thanks, Naruto smiled back. Now I must be going. I'm almost out of chakra. A word of advice, if you're staying in Kumo then you won't meet Jiraiya anytime soon and he is the only one I gave a key to. The forbidden scroll of sealing was used by me to seal the Kyuubi, Minato began as he brought his hand up to the seal on Naruto's stomach. It twisted and returned to normal a moment later. I just used my key to restore the seal to normal. But this is only a one-time thing. Inside the forbidden scroll of sealing is the third and final key to your seal. It's at the very end of the scroll and you really can't miss it when you see it. It is the first step to controlling the Kyuubi and I have faith in you to find a way to do it. Forbidden scroll of sealing. I got it, Naruto nodded in understanding. You're not strong enough to fight the Kyuubi, so don't use it unless you are absolutely confident that you can beat it, Minato told him. He put his hand on the younger blonde's head and smiled as he slowly disappeared. Parents always believe in their children. And I believe in you, Naruto. He was gone a moment later. Quote. Thanks, Dad, Naruto said and turned as the void shattered around him. Land of Lightning, Kumogakure no Sato, Rainbow Mountain. It looks like he passed our test, Miyaka commented as she saw the fox contract and collapse in on itself. I was worried we might have to kill him for a minute there. That would have been unfortunate, Hotori added with a nod as the red chakra faded to reveal a completely unharmed Naruto. Boy, step forward, he spoke. Naruto did as instructed and looked over at him. You must be the dragon I summoned before. No, that was me, Miyaka spoke from the side. I am Miyaka no Ru, it's a pleasure, she greeted. Uzumaki Naruto, Kyuubi Jinchuriki, Naruto said back. Don't take this the wrong way, but what are you all doing here? He asked as he looked over the 5 dragons. You summoned one of my people last night, the dragon leader responded clearly. We dragons haven't been summoned by anyone in over 300 years, and not only were you able to summon us, but you were also able to pass your test to become a Ru Senin, dragon sage. A what? Naruto asked confused. A Ru Senin. Miyaka-kun, did it, or did Hotori? Yes, Hotori-sama, Miyaka bowed her head and her wings glowed. Beams of light shot out and covered Naruto's form from view. Ryopo, Ru no Yoroi, when the light died down, Naruto was revealed to the world again. What is this? Naruto asked as he looked down. His entire body looked like it was covered in some kind of orange, black and white armor. In his hand was a glowing red sword with a blue-white ball just below the hilt. Think Naruto's costume from the game, Naruto Shippuden, Ryujinki. I may not have liked the game itself, but I loved the costume change, so mix that it with the armor of a knight and you have the current Naruto. Think of them as gifts. If you are going to be our summoner, then you will need strength unrivaled by anyone else. We only accept the best as our summoners. You will be the best or you will die. Now let me hear you. Hotori set his gaze on the young blonde. Quote. I will become the best, surpassing everyone else and catch up to my father. That's my promise, Naruto stated clearly. Good. Then we will be off. Until next time, boy. Hotori bowed his head in respect before he flew off into the sky, followed by the other dragons one by one. Call on me if you need some help, Naruto-kun, Miyaka said before she too flew away. Naruto sighed as he sheathed the sword on scabbard he had strapped to his back. This has long day written all over it, he thought, and turned to the sight of several Kumonins approaching. So you're Konoha's Kyuubi Jinchuriki, the leader spoke, a big guy dressed in what looked like cage robes. I am the Yondaime Reikage of Kumogakure no Sato, he declared. I'm Uzumaki Naruto, Kyuubi Jinchuriki and current Ru Senin. It's nice to meet you, Naruto said, slightly nervous. He was expecting all the cages to be old guys like the old man, not someone who looked like he could kill you with just a look. I'm not Konoha's Jinchuriki anymore, Reikage-sama, best not to piss him off if you can. He raised an eyebrow at that. Really? Then, would you be interested in joining Kumo? Join Kumo. Naruto blinked in confusion. Why? I failed the Genin graduation exam 3 times and I still haven't passed it. E's eyes narrowed at that. If that were true, then you shouldn't have been able to summon one of those dragons. You clearly summoned the one that dropped you off at my office this morning. How could you not pass the graduation exam 3 times and yet summon a dragon? Can't create clones, Naruto said, embarrassed. Clones. It was Kiribi that spoke up. They wouldn't happen to be normal clones, would they? Because if they would then get down and shake your belly cause, we Jinchuriki got too much chakra to make such a useless wannabe. Naruto blinked with a sweat drop. What my brother means is Jinchuriki are physically incapable of creating regular clones because they have too much chakra to control. Even our own Jinchuriki can't create regular clones, so they use a rank lightning clones instead, he explained. You have Jinchuriki here? Naruto asked in surprise. Kiribi here is the Hachibi Jinchuriki, he replied as he gestured to his younger brother. I see. Then Konoha didn't want to tell me that, or they didn't want to know why I couldn't create regular clones, Naruto muttered as his fists clenched at his side. It seems that way, kid, the Reikage agreed with a nod. Quote dot dot dot. Is that offer still open? Naruto asked after a moment. Yes. He nodded in confirmation. Then yes, I will become a genin of Kumo. Naruto agreed and bowed his head. He smiled at his luck. Good, then come with me so we can get you registered and then you will head to our academy to meet your team. Team. Naruto blinked in confusion. Genin team, the Raikage answered with a smirk. Unfortunately we only have one genin out of the regular teams and normally they're kept behind, but since you're here now I finally have a third team member. Land of Lightning, Kumogakure no Sato, Academy. This was unreal. Walking towards the academy reminded him so much of home, of Konoha, and yet it was so different too. When he was finished signing all the documents and got his ninja license, he walked towards the academy led by a boy a year older than him called Shi. As they made their way through the villagers went about their business in a similar manner to the villagers back in Konoha, with one very significant difference. They didn't glare at him or even ignore him in the least, quite the contrary actually. They practically adored him. Some people said hello, some smiled and some even waved a few times. He didn't understand why they were like this when he unleashed 8 of Kyuubi's tails in broad daylight just this morning. What made things even stranger was the fact that as they walked he noticed the girls his age and a few years older looking at him the same way that he saw girls look at Sasuke back in Konoha. Strange. As if reading his mind, she spoke up. Jinchuriki are treated differently here compared to other villages. Instead of fearing the demons they contain, we actually consider them to be the ultimate protectors of our village and its people. Kiribi-sama especially, considering how much he's sacrificed to ensure our continued peace. He's a hero among heroes here in Kumo, and to be a Jinchuriki is considered the highest honor. Quote dot dot dot. I see, Naruto said finally as they kept walking. Here we are, she declared as they reached the destination. The graduation class is on the second floor, room 217. Thanks. Naruto nodded and entered as she left. He quickly made it to the room and breathed, here we go. He knocked and entered after being called. Hi, I'm here for graduation. You must be the boy Samui-san talked about. The teacher spoke in understanding. Come in, I'm Darui and I will be your teacher. For the next 10 minutes, he added the last part amused. Quote dot dot dot. I think I'll manage, Naruto joked. Please introduce yourself to the class. Darui gestured towards the assembled group. I am Uzumaki Naruto, nice to meet you all, the blonde said with a smile. He's cute, a girl commented. Oh please, he looks like a wimp, a boy scoffed. Nah, didn't you hear? This guy is the Jinchuriki guy from Rainbow Mountain this morning, another boy counted. Seriously, this guy is a Jinchuriki. What the hell makes him so special? The first boy demanded. How about the fact that he's not an ass like you? The girl said with a smirk. Alright, settle down everyone, Darui spoke and silence claimed the room as Naruto sat down at the chair he was motioned to. Right next to the one person in class who had different thoughts about the newcomer. This guy was able to stop himself from losing control and letting the Kyuubi out this morning. To be able to stand up to the most powerful of the Biju, he's not an ordinary Jinchuriki like I am. He's something else, thought Niyugito. Alright, class 1 will now read out your teams, Darui spoke up again. First is Team Z consisting of. This has very long day written all over it, Naruto thought with a sigh. Eventually his name was called. Since there are 2 students more than usual, Team B will be a 3-man squad consisting of Uzumaki Naruto and Niyugito under Yotsuki Kiribi. Darui finished, causing the 2 to look up in confusion. 3 Jinchuriki on the same team. This wouldn't end well at all. Apparently they weren't the only ones who thought so. Darui-sensei, why do they get special treatment? One of the students demanded. Darui looked annoyed and spoke before Naruto lost his temper. Are you blind? There is no one else available to fit the slot for a third teammate, and it's not unusual for 2 academy graduates to have their own team. When I first became a genin I was in a 3-man cell myself, and trust me it's a lot harder without a 4th teammate watching your back. The class fell silent at that. Very long day, was the only thought that passed through Naruto's head. Lightning Country, Kumo, Academy. Tap. 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 Dot tap. Tap. Dot tap. Tap. Dot tap. Dot tap. Would you stop that already? Yugito shouted in annoyance. They had been waiting for 20 minutes since all of the other teams had been taken away by their respective sensei, leaving only them in the room. After 5 minutes of boredom, Naruto started to tap his pencil on the table, much to Yugito's frustration, which he had continued to do until she had yelled at him to stop. Silence. Thank you, Yugito muttered in relief. Tap 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 tap. That's it, Yugito shouted and tackled him to the ground. Hey, what are you doing, you crazy cat girl? Naruto shouted back as the two rolled across the floor. They came to a stop in front of the teacher's desk with Yugito pinning Naruto down by his arms. What is your problem? You're my problem, Yugito yelled, annoyed. You come out of nowhere, graduate as a genin, and then you have the audacity to annoy me with your infernal tapping and ask me what's my problem. You are a complete and total moron. That's my problem, you idiot. Quote. Sorry, Naruto hesitantly asked. Yugito got off him and huffed before turning away. Hey now. I just needed something to do. It's been a messed up couple of days and I'm still sorting through everything. Sorry if I offended you or anything, he laughed nervously. Quote. Why? Yugito asked before turning around to face him. Why are you here? This was supposed to be so simple. I was supposed to graduate and be taken as Kiribe-sama's only apprentice and become strong enough to protect my home. Then you walk in and accomplish the same thing I've been doing for the last 4 years in only a day. How the hell do you think that makes me feel, huh? Naruto remained silent at that. Oh boy, they snapped their eyes to the door and saw a dark-skinned man who looked about 30 standing in the doorway. This is gonna take some work, fools ya fools, the man spoke in bad song. Who are you? Naruto blinked. I'm the man who floats like a butterfly and stings like a killer bee. Cause, I'm the 8-tailed beast, the man declared. Kiribe-sama, Yugito bowed her head in respect. We were just, she began. No need to tell cause I heard it all like a ringing bell, Kiribe rapped. You're our sensei? Naruto asked, feeling slightly disappointed. Somehow I was expecting, well, a ninja, not someone who sings bad rap, he sighed in thought. Both of you come with me, yo, and we'll see where you stand on my test, yo, Kiribe spoke as he ushered the pair out of the room. Hey, no pulling. Naruto yelled as the man practically dragged the two out of the academy and towards one of the training grounds on the lower platforms of the village. Lightning Country, Kumo, Training Platform D. Let's start with you both introducing yourselves, fools, ya fools, Kiribe said as the two genin sat down against a metal bench. Yugito spoke first. Ni Yugito, I like my home and I dislike anyone who threatens it as well as someone I know. She sent a glare at Naruto, who scoffed slight as she continued, I don't have many hobbies and my dream, my goal is to become the Kumo's greatest protector. After it was clear she was done, Naruto spoke up, the name's Uzumaki Naruto. I don't really like anything and I dislike how corrupt Konoha has become. My hobbies, pulling pranks and watering plants, and my dream. I don't really have one. Alright, I'm Yotsuki Kiribe, you will refer to me Hachibi-sama, Hachibi-sensei or Kiribe-sensei from now. Fools, ya fools, Kiribe said. I like Enka and my vacation time. I dislike anyone who has a problem with my rap and my brother's meddling. My hobbies are my singing and making new raps. My goal is to merge Enka singing with my own rap style, fools, ya fools. Man. And I thought I had problems, Naruto thought with a sweat drop. Now then I will test you both here and see how you both fare. Fools, ya fools, Kiribe said and stood up. We're gonna spar to see if you're up to par, he added with a nod. Yugito shot up and threw out a punch only for Kiribe to evade and strike her in the chest. She exploded into lightning and paralyzed the Kumo champion, but he shrugged it off in moments as the real her appeared behind him. Reikyu, Yugito called out as she hurled a ball of lightning at the Kumo jonin. Not bad, little cat, Kiribe started before he disappeared in a burst of speed and reappeared behind her. But you're still as slow as a clumsily flung bat, he kicked her away, causing her to skid along the metal floor until she stopped. Damn it, Kiribe-sensei really is strong, Yugito thought grimly. Rai Bunshin no Jutsu was practically useless against him, she added in thought. Taju Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. Naruto called out, and to their surprise 100 Naruto clones appeared around them and charged. This kid's got potential if he can create this many shadow clones with only academy-level chakra control. If he's ever able to fully control it, he will be almost unstoppable, Kiribe thought with a smirk as he struck down the assembled clone army with his bare hands. Reikyu, Yugito exclaimed as she threw another ball of lightning at him, hoping to catch him off guard while he was distracted. Kirby saw it coming and quickly jumped away. He landed a few feet away and saw the two genin ready themselves for the next attack. We can't even touch him. Hey sensei, Naruto shouted with a smirk. Suddenly another Naruto appeared behind the Hachibi Jinchuriki and grabbed his shoulders, surprising him. Maybe you should watch your back more, the clone said. Take him out now with my clone. He shouted to his teammate who was already preparing her next attack. When did he? Kirby blinked surprised as he tried to break himself free of the boy's grasp. Reikyu. Yugito threw a ball of lightning at their sensei and the clone holding him down. It struck, and smoke filled the air. You pass, Kirby said as he appeared behind the two completely unharmed. Thank you Kirby-sensei, Yugito said as she bowed her head in respect. This guy, he's a true Jinchuriki, Naruto thought with a smile. This might not be so bad after all. Land of Lightning, Kumogakure no Sato, Breakage Tower. Please I'm begging you, don't make me do another one of these chores. Naruto practically shouted before they were offered yet another D-rank mission. He looked both amused and annoyed at the same time, and why would I give you higher ranking mission? Oiroke no Jutsu. There was an explosion of smoke before a naked blonde girl with clouds covering her appeared in the room to the surprise of everyone, besides Kirby. He never stood a chance. He fell out of his chair with blood pouring out of his nose and a grin on his face. Kirby didn't seem to be affected, and as for Yugito, well, she didn't look happy at all. A split second later Yugito smacked the blonde girl over the head and she transformed back into Naruto. What the hell was that, you idiot? Yugito angrily snarled at her fellow blonde as she held him by the collar. This went on for another few minutes before the Reikage regained consciousness and spoke in a serious tone. Very well, you will get your mission, however it is not an ordinary mission. The tone he used immediately stopped the two. What is it? Naruto blinked. There was recently a request forwarded to Konoha by a bridge builder from the Land of Wave. It has been listed as a C rank mission, however I don't believe that. Our spies have identified that the shipping tycoon, Gato, is in the area and is working towards enslaving the entire country. The Konoha team being sent has the last Uchiha on it, and Konoha won't risk him when they finally find out about the information their client has been withholding from them. Your orders are to succeed where Konoha fails, the Reikage explained. Leave it to us, brother. We'll have it done. It's time for supper. Fools, ya fools, Kirby said with a shrug. Go. He gave the order. Land of Fire, Eastern Border. Uchiha Sasuke, the last of his clan, had been having a rather painful day of listening to his number one fangirl constantly asking him out on dates. Haruno Sakura had been pathetic during their real genin test, and even their new teammate, Sai, seemed to have more skills than her. Sai was a quiet boy who, well, I don't really know how to describe the kind of guy he is. We are entering foreign territory, you should be quieter, ugly-san, yeah, something like that. What did you just call me? I'm going to kill you. Sakura shouted in anger and lunged to attack the newcomer, only to be stopped by their sensei. Hatake Kakashi held her back by her collar while he continued to read his little orange book. Now Sakura. What have I told you about teamwork? Sakura huffed and continued walking. Why did we have to have him on the team? He's almost as bad as Naruto Baka on his worst days. So can we expect any ninja on this mission? Sasuke asked, seemingly uncaring. It's only a C-rank mission and the Land of Waves doesn't have a shinobi village. You don't have to worry about foreign ninja for a while yet, Kakashi responded with a shrug. Just then a pair of figures appeared out of the puddle they had walked past and wrapped Kakashi in chains. What? What the? Sakura nearly screamed as the group turned around. One down, one of the assassins whispered as they pulled on the chains. And cut Kakashi down in a matter of seconds. Kakashi-sensei. Sakura screamed in fear at seeing their teacher killed with ease. Two down, the assassins whispered as they appeared behind Sai. Fortunately he was ready for them and quickly turned, drawing his tanto and blocking the chain at its center. They quickly tried to counter, but Sasuke then moved and pinned the chain to the nearby tree, forcing the two assassins to break apart. One went after Sai while the other moved to attack Sakura and the client. A split second later Kakashi appeared unharmed and decimated the two assassins. Kakashi-sensei. Sakura stuttered in surprise at seeing a seemingly dead man alive again. Very good Sasuke, Sai, Sakura. Kakashi nodded in praise and turned to their client. Tazuna. Our attack is a Chunin level Nukanen from Kiri. Do you mind explaining why they came after you and not us? Tazuna stammered out a response. I mean. You lied about the mission level, Kakashi said simply. This is easily a B rank mission and could increase to an A rank if things become any more complicated. Kakashi-sensei, we're not strong enough yet for this type of mission. Can we quit? Sakura asked, both hesitant and hopeful. This is getting complicated, Kakashi sighed in frustration. He turned to the team. What do you all want to do? This team is not yet ready to complete a mission of this caliber. We must return to Konoha, Sai spoke up. Sasuke didn't say anything but his glare said it all. Both Hokage-sama and Danzo-sama will be very upset should we be killed because we were lied to. Kakashi looked at the crestfallen Tazuna before agreeing. Very well, we are returning home, now. I understand, Tazuna sighed in defeat. Then I will be continuing on home. If I am to die then I won't run away from it. Quote. For what it's worth I am sorry Tazuna-san, Kakashi apologized. Don't be. You've done enough just by getting me this far. I can go the rest of the way, Tazuna bowed his head. Team 7 move out, Kakashi ordered and the Konoha nins jumped into the trees, heading for home. Damn. Oh what the hell, it was a bad idea to start with but I had to try. Tsunami. Inari. I'm on my way home, Tazuna sighed again before he continued his walk. Yo. Are you Tazuna? It looks like those Konoha wimps left you, fools, ya fools, a voice spoke up, surprising him. What? Tazuna stammered in surprise as he turned to the sight of 3 new ninja. Who are you? He asked slightly fearful. We're your new guards from Kumo, we'll be guarding you from here on out yo, the obvious leader answered in bad rap. You aren't working for Gato? Tazuna asked. No we're not, the young girl replied. Thank the gods, Tazuna sighed in relief. Well I don't have the money for this kind of mission but. Just repay us later old man, the orange, black-clad boy at his side spoke. What do I call you? I never got your names, Tazuna said nervously. I am the man who floats like a butterfly and stings like a killer bee. Cause. I'm the 8-tailed beast, the leader practically sang. He's Kiribi-sensei, the girl said with a sigh. I'm Niyugito and this idiot here is Uzumaki Naruto. Don't call me an idiot, Naruto growled back. I hope these 3 will be enough, Tazuna thought worried. Land of Wave, Coast. It took them 2 days to reach the island while sneaking past the patrols and mercenaries that guarded it from unwanted inference. Team B hadn't been so bad, or at least the bridge builder thought so. They were mostly quiet on the journey with Kiribi constantly writing in his pad, probably making up new raps, while the 2 genin seemed to be trying to ignore each other. They had gotten off the boat and were walking through the forest when Yugito suddenly stopped and flung a kunai into the nearby bush. What? Tazuza tensed as Kiribi pushed them both down. Yugito dropped to the ground also but Naruto turned quickly, unsheathing the Raijin and bringing it up to deflect the oncoming attack. A massive sword, a Zanbato came flying out of the trees and slammed into the Raijin, forcing Naruto back several feet but it ultimately clattered to the ground. Impressive boy. To withstand the force behind a thrown sword of that size like that is impressive for a genin. I see you train your students well Hachibi, the attacker said as he appeared beside his fallen sword. He shouldered the massive weapon and glared, not that it matters. Hand over the bridge builder now, he demanded. Who the hell is this guy? Naruto asked as he held the Raijin at his side. Momoki Zabuza, one of the 7 shinobi swordsmen of the mist. He's nicknamed the Demon of the Mist in the bingo book. It's said that he once tried to assassinate the Yondai Mizukage, Yugito explained. It's good that I know whose ass I'm about to kick, Naruto said as he planted his sword in the ground beside him and brought his hands together in a seal. Jinchuriki no Jutsu, an instant later red chakra explode from his body. That's when the hell he learn how to harness the Kyuubi's chakra? Yugito thought in surprise. I really need to thank sensei for teaching me this jutsu, Naruto thought as he grasped the Raijin again. My power comes with a price boy, remember that, he heard a sinister voice say from the back of his mind. Consider it rent for housing you for so damn long, Naruto shot back as he twirled the Raijin in his hands like it was second nature. This chakra is inhuman, Zabuza narrowed his eyes as the boy disappeared in a burst of speed. There's no question, the Nukkinen thought and turned swiftly, digging Kubikiri Hoko into the ground just as Naruto appeared behind him and swung Raijin around, hitting the Kubikiri Hoko with a resounding clang of metal striking metal. He is definitely a Jinchuriki if that jutsu and chakra of his is anything to go by. Still, compared to Yagura team he's nothing more than a child, Zabuza thought before he spun quickly and cleaved the blonde boy in half. Naruto, Yugito shouted as saw her teammate bisected. Why aren't you helping them? Tazuna asked the Jonin at his side who was currently writing in his notebook. Because I want to see how they fare in a real fight, it should be an interesting sight, Kiribi answered in rap. There was no blood, just a puff of smoke. A shadow clone. Zabuza thought in alarm as an orange blur appeared behind him. He turned quickly only to receive a solid punch across the face, knocking him away. How do you like that? Naruto's voice echoed through the clearing. A second later Zabuza suddenly dissolved into water. What? Not bad kid, but you just aren't there yet, the real Zabuza said as he appeared behind the blonde boy. Now die. The Nukkinen shouted as he brought down Kubikiri Hoko on the boy. There was an echoing clang as Yugito appeared before them, two kunai in hand, her body covered in blue-purple chakra and clashed with the far larger Kubikiri Hoko. Hey so he has two Jinchuriki students. How fitting. Zabuza laughed as he forced his sword further down, trying to knock the girl off balance. Naruto then came in from the side and slashed with the Raijin, forcing Zabuza to back off. Yugito then jumped over the boy and threw a ball of lightning at the Nukkinen. Reikyu, Yugito called out as she hurled the jutsu at him. It struck its target and Zabuza dissolved into water. Damn it, he made a water clone. The real Zabuza suddenly appeared behind the two and swung Kubikiri Hoko round. I've got you now, kiddies. There was a resounding clang as Kubikiri Hoko hit a katana held by Kiribi. I thought you were sitting out. He taunted. You two take a break and consider what's at stake, Kiribi said to his two students. So you're finally getting off your ass and doing something, eh? Alright, I'll take you on, Zabuza said and spun quickly, bring his sword around to slash the dark-skinned Jonin. Kiribi withdrew another sword and parried the strike with ease. He then flexed his arms slightly and another 5 swords shot into the air which he caught with different parts of his body. What the? Kiribi stood there for a moment and spoke with the hilt of a sword in his mouth. I'll give you a taste of my hook. What's up with that stance? Zabuza thought with narrowed eyes as Kiribi suddenly shot forward. Shit, he grunted as he pulled back just as Kiribi struck down on the position he was just at. Faster than most could see, Kiribi was already upon him again, forcing him to bring Kubikiri Hoko up to defend himself. Yo, first I'm gonna float and fly like a butterfly, Kiribi began as he charged lightning chakra through his swords, knocking Kubikiri Hoko to the side and leaving an opening in Zabuza's defenses. What's up with his kenjutsu? I can barely read it at all, Zabuza thought with widened eyes. Then I sting ya like a killer bee. 'Cause I'm the 8-tailed beast. Kiribi declared as he impaled Zabuza with 5 of his swords. Awesome, Naruto thought as he watched on. Zabuza hit the ground with a thud as the Hachibi Jinchuriki moved in to finish him off, and I end my flow with a finishing blow. A white blur came in from the side and grabbed Zabuza, rolling them out of the way just as Kiribi struck down. Where the hell did he come from? Naruto shouted as he pointed to the newcomer who was wearing a mask. I didn't even sense him, Yugito muttered worriedly. You aren't a hunter nin, Kiribi said simply and charged forward. You would have killed this guy already instead of saving him, you little fly. He shouted as he closed in. We must escape now. The mask-wearing newcomer thought quickly and formed a hand seal. The newcomer and Zabuza disappeared in a puff of smoke a second later. Shunshin no jutsu. What was that about? Naruto asked, confused. The guy who saved Zabuza was dressed as a Kiri hunter nin, but if that was true then he would have not only killed Zabuza himself but also completely destroyed the body. That hunter nin was clearly one of Zabuza's allies, Yugito explained. So it's not over yet, Naruto said as he sheathed the Raijin. That's not a pleasant thought, Tazuna said with a sigh. Come on, my house is not too far from here. We can rest once we're there. This way. The 4 disappeared into the mist again a moment later. Land of Wave, Nami House. Are you alright, father? The 28-year-old woman asked Tazuna. The bridge builder nodded with a sigh as he dropped onto the futon. You look like you've been through hell. Stupid old drunk, he didn't even do anything, Naruto muttered before Yugito elbowed him. I'm fine Tsunami, but it's been a long day so I need my sleep, Tazuna said as he stared up at the ceiling. Zabuza will probably take a week to recover, what until then? Yugito asked. We're gonna train Yo, and then we're gonna make them wet their pants like little ants, Kiribi replied in song. And how do we do that? Yugito inquired. Kuchio's no jutsu, Naruto said as he slapped his hand down on the ground and seals spread out across it. A large scroll instantly appeared in before him and he hefted it up onto his shoulders. What is that? Yugito asked surprised. This is the forbidden scroll of sealing which I brought with me when I left Konoha and came to Kumo. The Raikage can't open it because of something the dragons did to it and they've been holding onto it for me. Only I can open it because it's key to my blood so no one else can get their hands on its secrets, Naruto explained as he set the scroll down. So what's in it? Yugito asked intrigued. Every jutsu Konoha has ever acquired, including my father's, Naruto replied. You don't have the chakra control yet for those, fool, ya fool, Kiribi spoke up. Yeah I know, Naruto nodded in understanding. You need to bring up your control so I want ya to start walking on water while swirling kunai in your hand. This will allow you to at the very least stand, Kiribi said to his two students. Yes Kiribi-sensei, the two genin nodded at the order. Just then a young boy entered the room. And Naruto could tell it was going to be a long week. Land of Wave, Nami House. So what's the plan? Yugito asked as they all sat down at the kitchen table. We find out where they're hiding and bring them pain. That way we will become their bane, Kiribi rapped. So we find this Gato guy and then hit him where it hurt right. Naruto asked having gotten used to their sensei's habits. Right 090, Kiribi sang with a nod. How do we find him? I'm a sensory type and I can't sense Zabuza or that hunter Nin anywhere on the island. Where do we start looking? Yugito asked. Naruto you should make some clones and have them scout the other islands. When you find something Yugito should be able to locate Zabuza. Fools ya fools, Kiribi explained. I'll do that, Naruto nodded. Why? No matter how hard you train, you'll never match Gato's thugs. Yelled Tazuna's grandson, Inari. You all act cool and talk tough but big, strong guys like that are always too much for people weaker than they are. They'll destroy you. Shut up. I'm not you and I'm not going to lose to anyone. Least of all a bunch of bullies, Naruto said with a snort. Just watching you ticks me off. You go running your mouth when you don't know a thing. This isn't your town and you don't know a thing about me. You're always clowning around and having fun. You don't know a thing about suffering or loneliness or what my life is like. Inari shouted. Quote. Actually I know more than you think, Naruto said after a moment. I've heard that your father was considered a hero, someone who put his life on the line to do the right thing and your entire country betrayed him by not helping him. You think you're the only one has suffered. Don't be stupid, he leveled a glare at the boy. Since the day I was born I have been lied to by those around me and people have even tried to kill me simply because I exist. My father was a hero too and despite that they discarded his dying wish and even went as far as to not even tell me he was my father. Naruto. Yugito thought in surprise and a bit of sadness as Kiribi looked on silently. I had to be brought to the edge of insanity just to find out who my father was and you sit there in front of me and whine about Gato's invincible mercenaries. Don't insult me, Naruto snarled as his flashed red for a moment. I have stood in front a demon that could level a nation by itself and chose to become a sage instead of a monster. Even now it tries to corrupt me but I won't let it and I'll keep fighting long after Gato is dead. He stood up a moment later and headed for the door. I'm out of here. Wait Naruto, Yugito stood up in protest but Kiribi grabbed her arm. Let him go, he needs to time so take it slow, the Hachibi Jinchuriki told her. Was what he said true? Tsunami asked worriedly. He hasn't had a very good life even by Jinchuriki standards, Kiribi explained. He has only started to live his life away from those bastards, he finished referring to Konoha. At least Kumo trained me. But unlike Kumo, Konoha didn't want anything to do with the Kyuubi, he added after a moment. I didn't know, Yugito stammered out and lowered her gaze to the floor. I had no idea that I thought he was treated like we are. Naruto grew up facing the darker side of humanity. Even I am amazed he has maintained his sanity, Kiribi said with sigh. He wasn't beaten or anything like that. But they wouldn't have lifted a finger if he were to go splat. And I said those things to him back in Kumo. I'm such a fool, Yugito thought sadly. That will be it for this video. If you want more, comment down below, like, subscribe. And see you guys later.